Anyway, some of my guests have joined me. We'll be doing the news review segment. Deputy National Communications Director, Alhaji Kamaldeen, you're welcome. Good morning.
Thank you, Eno. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Terrific.
I can imagine it's been it's going to be stressful, well, at least until after your flag bearer aspirant elections.
Well, somehow, but we appear to be used to it, so we'll do what we can.
Yeah.
And leave the rest with Almighty God.
Yeah. We'll be discussing their meeting with the former president a little later on.
No problem.
But I wanted to pick your thoughts on our business fair that we're having, our Northern Fair. You know, we do it, this is Ghana Fair, and this time around we're doing it in the North. And judging from your name, you're from the North. Sure. So what do you think we should expect from the North? Like, paint us a picture.
When I saw it, I was like, wow, this is an amazing giant step that ChannelOne TV and CTFM have taken.
Right.
I've always been an advocate for bridging of the gap between the North and the South.
Okay.
And when I say bridging the gap, it ought to be positive. It doesn't mean that when we are bridging the gap, we're trying to let the North stand alone or the South stand alone. We will still foster in unity as a country.
Right.
However, potentials that we unearth, okay, from the North must be brought down. Potentials we unearth down South must also be brought up, so that at the end of the day, we are going to have our economy built and built properly. I'm fortunate to have lived in the Upper East region. Right. I am also equally fortunate to have lived in the Upper West region, and I have lived also in the Northern region where I hail from. I'm actually from the Northern region, so that's where you're going to hold it. I'm sure it's going to be held at the Tamale Sports Stadium.
Yes, at the Tamale Sports Stadium.
I've been following the adverts, and I've been seeing the indications of the kind of stands that we're going to have.
Right.
These are talents that we are going to continue to unearth in the North, and that will end up augmenting the economic environment of this country, and it will help us out a lot. I pray and hope that this will not be the end.
Oh, definitely not.
It should continue. And also, after the fair, the business people who are going to have their stands should not see it as an end.
No.
I want to see them also trying to penetrate. You see, marketing is about penetration. Once you do not penetrate, you do not come in to tell the people what you actually have for them, and then try to better it or try to ameliorate it, you will still be where you are.
Right.
We have good things from the North. Look, there's this argument that the food basket of Ghana is on the northern part of Ghana. Okay, when you take the northern zone, maybe from Kintampo, which was part of Bono, now Bono East, running down or up to Boko and all that, the kind of agriculture produce that you can get is amazing. Art and crafts, excellent. We have
a lot to
the
see when
almighty
we get
smoke.
to the North. Yes,
yes. Even on the eve of independence, when Kwame Nkrumah was to announce the liberation of Ghana, he wore a smock.
Yes.
That time. So it tells you that we can do a lot for ourselves. It's sad that today, me sitting here, I am
wearing a suit.
Donning a suit, which is not supposed to be the issue. It shouldn't be the case at all.
Right.
I would love to see us projecting what we actually make in Ghana, the made in Ghana. There was this attempt to say that, look, every Friday we should all be in our
that was during
made in Ghana
time.
attire. I think we can even go beyond that. What I want us to do, if we have a textile industry, if we have a local fabric textile industry where we weave and all that, the kente and all that, let the women be told that every Friday, every single woman must don a cloth. So that we go back to the 70s and the 80s where we could see our women decently and modestly dressed. Today, all of us have decided to go adopt the Western fashion, which is not too good for us. So let me pat you on the back again to say that City and ChannelOne is a great initiative, and I believe that it's going to cut across. You have been doing it, and this time around is the first time in the North. I pray and hope that we're going to have a successful event at the end of the day. I shall also try as much as possible to attend, as it were.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Elvis Darko is the editor of the News Center paper and newscenter.com. Elvis, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. I was just picking Elijah Kamal Dean's thoughts on our Northern Business Fair while we waited for you. I'm not sure you're going to be there, but I'm sure you've seen the adverts, and I just wanted to pick your thoughts on that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I will not be there, but I've seen the adverts. And Northern Business Fair. See, our progress as a country is dependent on how businesses thrive.
Right.
Because government is not a business, and government doesn't run business. So it's only when we ensure that businesses thrive, and that's so across the country, that we will be able to say this country is going to be prosperous. In the northern sector, for instance, we all know that it's a vast land with so much potential, but the potentials remain untapped. And a lot of young people migrate from that part of the country to the south in search of better job opportunities, because virtually non-existent jobs in that part of the world, of the country. So we have failed as a country to deliberately make sure that we put in place policies and structures that make sure that the North also thrives just as the South is seen as thriving.
Right. And
we've played politics with it, and it has yielded nothing. And that is why we are here. Because the NDC under John Mahama first decided to do what we call SADA. If you read the proposals under SADA, what SADA intended to do, fantastic ideas, fantastic proposals. But because people put in charge to manage it were found to have mismanaged it, we actually shelved and destroyed the entire initiative. Instead of saying people giving the mandate to do this messed up, get rid of the people and look for the right people to manage the initiative, we just relied on the mess caused by the people, and that the entire beautiful idea that had so much economic potential to help the North was just shelved. The NPP came to power and they said they are not doing that, they are doing Northern Development Authority. Today, ask me what really has been the outcome of the Northern Development Authority up there. So you see, when we play politics with development, this is where we are. It's not city who should be, or ChannelOne who should be doing that. It should be a government. But if the government or electricity or ChannelOne is doing, there should be Ministry of Trade, there should be all the agencies that are responsible for economic development, job creation and progress, partnering the station to take such initiative up there. The point is, if we are in a country, and even in the country where we see things are not going well, there is still admission that the South is doing better than the North. And we all know that when the colonial masters came, they were looking for routes to transport raw materials away. And at that time, they've not discovered raw materials up north. So they focus down here so that they can have routes to actually siphon the raw materials away. They abandoned the north completely in terms of whatever. And when we also gained independence, we have not done much to bridge the gap between the north and the south. And for me, it's a very bad thing we have done. And it's about time as a country we strategically sit down and say, look, that part of the north is established that has huge potential. People do not know that a lot of the maize that we eat in Ghana
is from the north. From
the Sisala area alone, they are like the major producers of maize in Ghana. The yams we sit here and eat, where do they come from? They come from up north. So a lot of potential is there that when we have strategic decisions as a nation, we can transform the north to whatever we want it to be. But unfortunately, policies of governments from independence, and especially in this fourth republic that we say we are in a democracy, have not really helped the north. And we must all admit it that we have not done much to help the north. So it's good city is taking there, but the city is just a small, or ChannelOne is just a small organization. It needs state power.
Right.
It needs state machinery. And as I've said, if today we go back and pick SADA, the concept of SADA, and we still want to implement it,
we can.
It's just a fantastic idea.
Right.
Because one of the proposals in SADA was that instead of eating chicken, we can do a lot in terms of guinea fowl.
Guinea fowl.
And all studies have shown that guinea fowl is actually healthier than chicken and could be a big export for Ghana.
Right.
And it was one of the biggest things we wanted to do under SADA. But because people put in charge messed up, we just shelved the entire idea. Instead of getting the people off and get the right people and say, this initiative is a fantastic and we can't shelve it because people who put in charge have done something wrong.
Right.
But that's the problem of this country.
Yeah.
We'll have a beautiful project plan or whatever we want to do.
Mess it up and
once people put in charge, do something that we think is wrong,
we shelve it.
The mindset is that collapse the entire initiative. And that is why we are here. So for me, I can only commend you, but as I said, you are just one single organization, a private one.
Right.
You are struggling for money to run your organization. You are not spending money to go and organize a fair up north and all that. But the question is, what has Ministry of Trade, for instance, done to link even those who do the basket and all that to markets outside Ghana?
Definitely.
What have we done?
All right. Elvis, shelve your thoughts and let me introduce my third and final guest, Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan. He's an MP for Yendi. You're welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you.
I was just picking my guest thoughts on our Northern Business Fair, which is happening this weekend. If you have anything to say briefly so that we can go straight into our news review segment.
Thanks so much. I think I've seen snippets of it in the past days. I think it's a step in the right direction. And I want to urge you on and urge other like-minded organizations to go into that field. Like Senior has already indicated, the Northern sector has been left behind for far too long, and there must be some deliberate effort. I am very optimistic that by the end of JM's 4-year term, there will be some significant improvement in terms of the North as a unit of development. I've heard him mention the issue of the crops that we produce. In fact, if you come to maize, if you look at the kind of maize, the quality that is coming from the North is far ahead of what we have here in the South. You know, one major test for a good grain in terms of maize is the aflatoxin level.
Yes.
In fact, when you take maize from the North, you don't need to treat it again. You don't even need to dry it. If you take this institution, we call it the Ghana Commodity Exchange.
Yeah.
They are into storing grains for farmers, especially when there are gluts. When there is a glut and the prices are down, farmers are not able to even break even, so they take these commodities, store them during times that prices are up. They can come for their commodities and sell and make profits. So you don't, as a farmer, you don't bother about your storage facilities. Now, one thing they have detected is that it's only in the North. The Sisala East area, the Northern region, Tamale, those areas, it's only those areas that they are able to get maize that come in the right quality. Those that are here, the warehouse, their facilities that are here, anytime farmers bring in maize, they need to treat it to make sure that the aflatoxin level goes to the best minimum, goes to the level that they want. So we have, for far too long, undermined the potential of the North. We have not given it the due attention it deserves. And I think there must be some deliberate effort. And like he said, the state must lead in this regard.
Right.
As a private entity, you can only do much, but we need the deliberate effort of the state to bring up the people of the North and the potentials of the North.
Right.
And quickly to add, the human capital in terms of our mindset also matters.
Right.
Okay? In as much as you want to be helped or you want to be assisted, you must also show, okay, the need to actually be assisted. Okay. But where you relax as a people, that is where problem comes. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to do it yourself. So I would appeal to all my northern brothers. My brother is here, the MP for Yendi.
Yes.
My good self, whoever is watching us. Let us be wary of the fact that no one will do it for you. You have to do it for yourself and sell yourself out positively. All
right. On that note, let's start with the Senegalese footballer who died. We understand that the IGP is collaborating with the Senegalese FA to investigate the death. Let me come to you, Kamaldeen. Given that there have been two previous foreign athletes who have died on our soil this year alone. What does that mean for the perception of athlete safety in Ghana?
Well, an accident is an accident. And there's no explanation to an accident. And I'm not sure Ghana is the only soil that we have recorded foreign athletes or foreign sportsmen coming in and an unfortunate incident like this happened. That said, it doesn't also mean that we should throw our hands in despair and throw security or the caution that we need in security to the dogs. Not at all. It is a sad event, very, very sad. The only worrying aspect of it is where criminology is read into it. And I'm sure that's why the police wants to investigate properly to establish the veracity of whatever claims or allegations that are in there. I think to help all of us and to help also clear our name. More so when the report did not even emanate from us, even though it happened in our soil. But it took the Senegalese media to escalate it before we started acting. That I thought was quite appalling. I mean, we should have rather triggered it for them to pick it so that they could see the seriousness of it. That is why you ask the question as to when these things continue happening, how would they view Ghana?
Yeah.
You understand? I think we are one people. As an African continent, we've always advocated for trying to be together, especially we, the West Africans. Senegal and Ghana, no difference. I have been there severally, and I know how they live. Their culture is just like our culture here. And indeed, the Senegalese also love people, just like Ghanaians also are very hospitable, as it were. So I would appeal to the authorities here to do a great job so that any suspicion that is hanging in there is actually dispelled. Any mystery that is hanging in there is actually demystified, so that at the end of the day, they will continue to foster the relationship between us and the Senegalese. It was unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. The young goalkeeper, and who was just trying to assist in whatever he's doing, help himself, help the society, and help also develop the sports or the industry that he found himself. But unfortunately, God knows what we do not know. It doesn't also mean that the police who have actually said that they want to investigate should relax on it. They should actually investigate to get to the bottom of it and all that. Because Warren Science, the one who took him to the hospital, claimed that indeed it was an accident, but it appears it's something different now. So it means that disjointed claims here.
Yeah.
Clearly, we are hard put at saying what is going to be until the police are done with their investigation. I can only appeal to the IGP and appeal to whoever is involved that, look, let us try to unearth this mistress so that whatever that is in there, we could find panaceas to them in the near future so that they, to curb some of these occurrences, as it were.
Elvis, how should the police handle this case, especially since it involves foreigners? And like I said, 2 previous deaths. Yes, the Nigerian boxer, they came out to say it was cardiac arrest. No footballer, we still don't know what has happened to her. And now the Senegalese footballer. How should they handle these cases?
Well, let's establish that we are humans, and death is part of life. We've seen very healthy athletes die on the field.
Yeah.
We've seen footballers die after collapsing on the field.
Yeah.
So it's not out of place to hear that a boxer died in the ring, but it's also important to know that there are rules to follow and precautions. So if it's established that certain rules or precautions are not being followed, then that one, people should be held accountable. In the case of this young man, see, this trafficking young people in search of greener pastures, especially in the area of sports, not only sports, but it's all over. Because humans, as we are all looking for better standards of living. And then when we think that a certain country offers us a better opportunity, you go. There are many young Ghanaian football talents who have been victims of this in several other countries around the world, where people come and said, I'm an agent, I can take you to this place, ignore the FA, they will put restrictions in the way, so they'll smuggle the guys out. Many have come up with very horrifying stories.
Right.
Some have gone and have made it. Some of our footballers will tell you how they left Ghana. They didn't even go through it, but today they are like big stars because it worked for them.
Yeah.
So sometimes we should understand in life, we take risks. And sometimes the risks either work for you or fail you. And it's unfortunate that this young man ended up dying. The circumstances we do not know. But clearly, for them to be attributing it to scammers who have tricked him, suggests that probably he was looking at an opportunity that he didn't really take his time to go through the Senegalese FA, so that the Senegalese FA may check from the Ghana FA to know whether there is a certified agent or whatever it is. Because clearly, with what I've read, it's not something like it's a formal process where the Senegalese FA actually was aware about it, and then they did a due diligence before going. So it's a matter of a young person who is looking for opportunities, thinks that, okay, looking at my performance in my country, probably I don't stand a chance. But then I think that I can move to another country and possibly something will work for me. And then somebody ended up offering him something. And because he's looking for an opportunity, decided to take it and come to Ghana. And came to Ghana and decided to do his thing until something happened.
Right.
The question I even want to know, when he came to Ghana, did he even report the Senegalese mission here? Or it is after the incident before the mission got to know? Because if you had reported the mission may also has a responsibility to protect their citizens. And therefore, the mission should have responsibility. If indeed he has actually informed them that it's in Ghana and this is his mission, the mission should have found out who are you working with, the person legitimate, is the person a licensed agent for you to help you and all that. So sometimes you see the European and Western countries always issuing what they call travel alerts. And for them, when they travel to any country, their first point of call is their missions to let them know that I'm in Ghana, I'm in so and so country, I'm here for this purpose, because they know that in case of any challenge, that is their first point of call for support. But it's like for many of us, when we travel from our part of the world to other countries, we don't even want to let our missions know.
Yeah.
We don't even inform them. But we forget that when anything happens to us, our only point of call first will be the mission.
That's very
so
true.
I think these are things we must also learn. Even if you have entered that country without any due process, still go to your mission and let them know that I'm in this country.
But is there education there that you must report yourself to your mission regardless of whatever country
the Western countries that they do it well.
Yeah.
And we must also learn from it that no matter the situation, when you enter any place, look for your mission first. Look at these issues of the Middle East where these young people go to look for these house help jobs and the rest.
Yes.
Many of them ended up finding themselves a serious problem because when they get there, they don't even look for the Ghana mission. They don't look for any mission to report. Because, oh, I'm there to somebody that's taking me there to go and look for a job and I'll make money.
What LB is saying,
and that's it.
What LB is saying reminds me of my stay in Saudi Arabia as a consul general. Exactly what the case is over there. They come in search for greener pastures. Without recourse to their mission, they are anywhere.
Right.
You see, and when problem now befalls them, my sister, that's when they now the embassy has done nothing. The embassy hasn't done. Meanwhile, you didn't even avail yourself to the embassy.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very good point, and we need to look at it.
So we need to understand some of these things. Look, if you're American in Ghana here, you see, he doesn't have the right document, you still go to American embassy and go and report that I'm in Ghana. Because they know that they are on a foreign land. The only country, their only land in this country is the premise of their embassy. Because the premise of every high mission is seen as that country.
Right.
That's why when you run there for refuge, nobody can arrest you. Because that land on which the mission is situated is not seen as a Ghanaian land, though. It's seen as that country.
Yeah.
So there are so many things we do, and that's why our people fall for a lot of scams around the world. And I think that events like this should draw our attention to how we should not be falling for a scam. As I say, you are a young person, you really are anxious to make it in life. You have taken a risk.
Yeah.
You see, and the risk has ended tragically. Okay, probably, arriving in Ghana, even if you didn't go to the Senegalese FA, arriving in Ghana, if you had gone to the mission and say, I'm in Ghana, A, B, C, D, and therefore this and that and that, the mission would have said, okay, we hear you. Where are you? Where is your address? Who are you living with? Can you have the contact number of the person you are living with? The mission may want to find out from the GFA whether that person who has brought you is even a licensed agent. And if they find out that, oh, they would advise you, no, you are dealing with the wrong person. These people are not agents, they may be fraudsters. So probably go back to your country, or let's see the FA whether they can help you with a legitimate agent. So there are so many things that sometimes when we are in dire need,
right,
then we think that this is an opportunity. We just don't look at it. We should understand people who have walked through Mali, Burkina Faso, all the way to Libya because they want to cross to Europe.
Right.
We've seen all this. It's all in search of what? Better opportunities. And that is why, as Africans, I always say, if we focus on building our countries, we'll be better off. If a Senegalese wants to come to Ghana to come and do anything, it should have been easier for him because we are Africans. We are talking about AFTA. We are talking about ECOWAS. There's so many other things. So if he wants to move to Ghana, this thing should be made simpler and easier. But it's because our leaders are yet to understand the importance of all of us seeing ourselves as one people. That is the biggest problem we have on the continent. The so-called unity is only a political talk, but among the citizens, among the people, there's little effort to make us feel that we are one people. It doesn't matter whether the person comes from Nigeria, Mali, Senegal, Burkina Faso, wherever the person comes from, we are one people. And that's why I'm so excited about this visa-free travel that is actually gaining momentum on the continent. Because the moment you realize that without a visa, you can just travel to one country or the other, it's one of the greatest ways of actually the integration we want to achieve. So it's unfortunate, but we must not hit ourselves so hard as if it is something strange. As I said, very, very fit athletes die on the field, and we see it all the time. So death will happen.
Yeah.
But if there is anything fishy about it, the police must do thorough investigation. If the guy died of natural causes, there's nothing anybody can do. But if indeed somebody has done something wrong which has led to his death, I think the police should investigate it, and whoever did something that led to the guy's death should be made to face the law. But aside that, let's all look at the fact that whilst we are chasing for better opportunities, our lives are also at risk, and therefore we should take certain precautions that we do not land in the hands of fraudsters and scammers. Because these days, there are countries that people can trick you into, and by the time you see, your kidneys have been removed.
Yeah.
A lot.
And there's a market for organs.
I've read stories where people have been taken to certain countries, and by the time they see, some of them say BBL or whatever, they put them to sleep. By the time they wake up, they see that there's a big cut, and kidneys have been removed
with their family members.
You see,
I'm telling you,
kidneys have been removed and sold.
And
you have no option. They give you some small money to go back to your country. So a lot is happening. So for you to decide that you want to deal with somebody, you have to consider all the risk involved and put a few precautions in place. As we speak, who in the guy's family even knows the agent's name or the people he came to Ghana to meet? Do they have their pictures? Do they have their names or something? No, I'm talking about the family, the guy's own family. You are moving from your country to Ghana. Somebody said, I can help you. At least let your family know that this is the picture of the person I'm going to stay with. This is the person's phone number and all that. It helps. It helps. So I think that it's a lesson to all of us. It's a Senegalese, but there are many Ghanaians we are speaking. Somebody is on the road going to some other country right now because somebody says, I'm going to find a job or this opportunity. So it's important that we all learn lessons from things like this so that it helps us.
All right. Honorable, let me pick your thoughts on this matter.
Thank you so much. I think both Senior Kamaluddin and then Elvis have done justice to the topic. If you read the story, it's quite worrying. I think my concern is about the image it creates for our country, Ghana.
Exactly.
Sometimes some of these stories, you would think that it's just one of the usual things, but when you go deeper, you realize that it dents the image of the country as a country that is not so safe. We, those living in Ghana, know that these things are even strange to us, and we know we have a very safe country. And if it ends up painting an image that does not befit us internationally, it's a cause for worry. If you look at the story, a young man brings this body to the hospital. The hospital accepts the body. Then they ask of the name of the young man who has brought the body, and he calls himself Isa. Now, where is the young man? He's nowhere to be found. I think there are issues we should even be looking at in the way we admit even patients at our hospital. And to the extent that right after taking the person, they realized that it was even a dead body they were taking, not even a patient. Meanwhile, the person brings the body in as a patient. And so what system do we have in our hospitals to ensure that when people bring in patients, especially in such critical conditions, we don't just let the people who have brought those people or the bodies in like that. At least we have certain details that we can use. But there should even be CCTV cameras that would have captured the person bringing the body in, to be able to make the tracing a bit easier. Now all the police have is the name Isa. Who even knows whether the Isa is actually his name? And then he brings in the person as a person who is a victim, is a victim of accident.
Yeah.
You understand? And you've seen the level of injuries sustained. It cannot be by accident, by a car accident, where it's only at the abdomen level that you see serious injuries. And so even the way we admit patients at the hospitals, we should look at it to ensure that we don't get people being let off the hook so easily as in this, because it's now going to make the work of the police even more difficult. But on the issue of young athletes searching for greener pastures elsewhere, it's very rife and it's very rampant. I remember, even as an MP, sometimes you are looking for such opportunities for your constituents, but you are very careful because you don't even know the market out there. And people will come and paint very good pictures. I give you an example. I tried something like that in Russia, and I got someone who was trying to help me. And I told him about some of the potentials I have in my constituency. We're far advanced in the discussions. And God being so good, around the same moment, I happened to travel to Russia. And we were received by the embassy. And so I had this discussion with them. And you know what they told me? That they have cases at the embassy where young people have been brought in the name of football, pursuing football careers, and now they have landed at Ukraine war, in front of the war.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yes. In fact, that was what discouraged me. They will bring them under the guise of helping them to get clubs, and when they get in there, before you see, you know, there was even that report in Ghana that some Ghanaians were found at the war front in Ukraine.
Yes.
And they made the video themselves.
Exactly. Most of them were taken as footballers. And so that killed my spirit immediately, because I don't want to be linked to anything like that.
Of course.
So you see, sometimes what you may be pursuing may be genuine, but because of these things, you have to hold your breath. Otherwise, you don't know where that will land you. And the moment your name comes up as somebody who has taken him there, then that becomes an issue. Meanwhile, you had very good intentions. You understand? So I think the desperation on the part of our... And if I had not, like Evie said, if I had not contacted, if I had not sought that information from the embassy, I would not have had this information.
Of course not.
So when I did that and I got that information, I quickly stopped. Wow. You understand? And so, like he's saying, the need to always make sure that you are in touch with the embassy, because the embassy knows the ins and outs of the country you are in. Exactly. And so they'll be able to advise you accordingly. If you look at this young man, he's here pursuing...
And they have access to authorities as well. That of the host country.
That is it. They have access to.
So if you are in trouble, they know
can
who
easily
to
intervene.
Talk to and whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. And even the club you've been promised, they'll be able to tell you whether it's indeed there's a club there or not.
You know,
If you even listen to the reporter that came even before some of these things, they said there was a demand made to the family of the young guy back in Senegal for some ransom. And the family failed to pay. Wow. And that was when the whole thing happened like that. You understand? So it smells of a lot of this. And so I think the question can only go to the young guy, because some of these arrangements are done at the blind side of the authorities, most of them. And everybody is desperate, especially football. Football is where money is. Everybody wants to go out there and make it big. But in an attempt to do that, please be advised that out there is not always like that. There are people who are also taking advantage of that opportunity to do their own things. And so the young guys just have to be cautious. And the security agencies are also...
Yeah, how transparent should they be in this investigation?
And I'm happy that if you read it, they are not doing that alone. They are doing that together with the Senegalese authorities, which is good, because they have to be in the loop to be able to see the picture very well. Otherwise, if you do your own investigation and come out with your own report, chances are they may not even buy into the report. So it's good to even let them front the investigations. You give them all the necessary support, because you know your local terrain. And then let there be serious transparency. And if possible, the state must have interest. The state must even fund everything. Let no cost of that investigation be borne by either the Senegalese embassy or the Senegalese Football Authority. No, everything should be borne by the government of Ghana, and there should be very serious commitment on the part of the state to actually get to the bottom, because that's the only way we can cleanse our image.
Absolutely.
Is some of these things, you take them lying down, but they are big when it comes to the image they create about you internationally. So these days, when you travel to certain countries, you are told immediately that, hey, this place is not safe. You have to mind where you are at what point in time and all those things. It's all because of some of these things. People hear some of these things and then they carry it forever on their minds. So this thing that is happening, you may think is that they will say, oh, Ghana there, if you go to Ghana, the next moment you are gone. And they won't even be able to tell where you are. And so my bigger worry is the image it creates about the country. So I just hope that the security agency will be able to go deeper into the issues and bring out all the nuances so that at least parties will get satisfied. And then the young guys pursuing some of these things should also be more careful. And then they should, as it were, look for the next embassy and they report themselves, and so that their whereabouts will always be known within the country that they happen to find themselves in.
You know, the police should take this seriously. You know, this is the second time we're having this story of kidnapping within the Ashanti region. Yeah. I remember some time ago, some Canadian females were said to have been kidnapped, and a whole lot of issues came up. Now, talking about image. Now, if we allow this to happen 1 too many, I mean, it becomes an issue to us. I think that the police must actually not sleep on this matter at all, because of our image as a country, and also because of the diplomatic relations that we have with other countries, as it were. So that it shouldn't be a tag that when you visit Ghana, this is going to happen. That is how you know your name is spelled, and it goes for life.
All right.
And to add, in the West Africa sub-region, we are in Ghana, so we are always complaining that we are not doing well. But I can tell the sub-region, we are rather seen as the country that is doing
best.
well.
It's true.
Very peaceful as well.
That is very true.
People from the neighboring countries rather want to migrate to Ghana to come and seek economic opportunities.
We want to go outside.
Interestingly,
no, that's
if you have not traveled to the countries, you would think that they are doing better than us. But when you go to this country and interact with people, they are like they want to come to Ghana.
They don't even need to interact with them.
Interestingly, so I've said that
that's true.
Sometimes it's like we're also not telling our story very well.
At all.
Because we are such a pride to the West African sub-region. Not even all the way to even Central Africa. People just want to. That's the point.
That's what is
People
important.
just want to travel to Ghana. They think Ghana is doing economically well. We are better off. Our country is moving forward, and therefore they want to come here and seek opportunity. But you see, once we are coming as economic migrants, some criminals will also come in.
Of course.
And that's why we also need to let our security, especially our border control, we need to beef it up. Because once you are seen as a country that is doing well economically, a lot of people will be attracted to come. Some will come genuinely to come and do something that is not a genuine business. Others too will think that if they are doing well, then there's also opportunity for economic crime. So they also want to come and stay here and also live on crime. And so we should look at it from that security point of view, that a lot of people are coming here, and we are people who allow people just to come to Ghana because we love. There's somebody say we don't love Ghana, we love foreigners. But we are Ghana, seriously. If you travel to other countries, you understand that you should be proud that you're a Ghanaian. The way we easily accept people. It's not like that in many countries.
Of course not.
In many countries, you go and you want to approach somebody to even ask a question, and the person is not willing even to talk to you. It is interesting. I think we have a lot of attributes, but because we are looking like Ghana should be like Malaysia, Singapore, America, and we are not there. So we are always looking like nothing good is happening. But I tell you, if you travel within Africa, especially in our part, that's the West Africa, you will be proud that you are Ghanaian.
You're Ghanaian.
I was telling somebody I just went to Cote d'Ivoire, and I like the standard of living in Cote d'Ivoire is too expensive compared to Ghana. Food, common food, breakfast, how much you pay? And I honestly, the person, are you sure? They hear about that? I say, you hear about the
currency was better than us. That's what they say.
When you go there, when you stay there,
it's completely different.
One of our colleagues works for AFDB, and she lists the service. It's crazy living in this country.
Wow.
She lives in an apartment which should be like from a small area, like decent. She pays $2,000 a month for rent.
Crazy.
And that's about 40,000. They say this is just a 2-bedroom apartment. In like there's some Manette Estate, small, like a place where you feel safe, Kakra. $2,000 a month. And she tells me if you take this bowl, they have Yango. Yango is the main. When she compares the prices to Ghana, food. So anytime she comes to Ghana, she wants to load the food
and take it back
and take it there. So sometimes because we don't go around our neighbors, we always think that Ghana is not. I can tell you, Some of us, because of the work, you go to one conference or the other, and when you just want to look around and say, what is the standard of living? Look at this way comparatively.
You should be proud.
You'll be proud as a Ghanaian. And that is why a lot of them want to come and stay in Ghana. Right. And then the criminals also see opportunity to come in. So we should beef up our security because a lot of people want to come, and criminals are part of those who are coming.
All right. Let's turn our attention to the MPP now. Former President Akufo-Addo has called on NPP flag-bearer aspirants to conduct healthy issue-based campaigns, and that story can be found on most of the papers as well as most of the portals this morning. Let me start with Abdul.
Hey, why is that doing
No, that's fine. You can start with him. No, start with him. He's so interested. You go ahead with him. Very well. The moderator has the discussion. So
I wasn't hearing
this race, to me, I call it a race to nowhere.
A race to nowhere. Oh, really?
So,
tell me more.
I think they just have to fill a requirement as enshrined in their party's constitution. They need to get a flag bearer. It has to happen just so they can keep the momentum alive. But trust me, it's a race to nowhere. But it's good that the former president has called them. In fact, I asked myself, why didn't he do that in the 2020, in the 2023 primaries?
Okay.
Why didn't he do that? Because you see, at that time, in fact, rumor was rife, much rife then, that you were supporting a candidate. And you needed to show that fatherly figure, that fatherly posture. That was the best time to have done what you are doing today. You wait after the horses have bolted. You understand?
Yeah.
And you are not doing it. Because everybody was saying, in fact, Ken, it was one of Ken's cry almost every day, that the establishment was towards one candidate and it was not providing a fair ground for the competition. And so it was the best time for you to have called all the parties. In fact, it is the wounds from that period that are still hurting the party today. Because, trust me, today, I don't see much happening that you don't find the competitors having issues with the processes so far, except the date that they fixed, and some of them said it was too early. They needed to start from the base of the party up to that level. But aside that, you don't find people pointing fingers to the big wigs in the party as having themselves tilted towards this side or that side. It was more rife during the 2023 primaries. And Nanado needed to make that statement clear that no, we're in for the unity of the party, we're in for the good of the party, and that we needed power then. For you to have sat down and allowed that rumor to go the way it did, and the election to go the way it did, and now you are coming out to paint a picture that you are a statesman and that you are asking for the unity of the party. There should be no campaign on personalities. It should be more about issue-based and all those things. It's a call in the right direction, but late in coming.
Oh, some will say better late than never.
Well, that is why it will be a race to nowhere. you understand? Because you see, for now, in fact, majority of Ghanaians are satisfied with the way the country is being governed. And whoever NPP picks as this eventual flag bearer will only be warming up to 2032.
Okay.
That is just the fact. He should be warming up. That is why, to me...
2032?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. After 2028, it should be out of the calculation for NPP. So that is why, to me, if they are preparing, if they are still going with Bawumia, then they should be patient. Because you should know that if you are picking Bawumia, you should be patient enough to have him again for 2032. Because if you pick Bawumia, don't pick Bawumia with the mindset that you are winning 2028. If you pick Ken, don't pick any of the candidates with the anticipation that you are winning 2028 election. So whoever you are picking at the end of the day should be somebody you can be patient enough to keep in 2032. Because it will even be riskier and more fatal to choose the person today and say that is his last term. That is even more fatal. Because his last term is obviously a no term for NPP. And so my worry is that, and I like the way they've so far conducted themselves. I've seen that they have, except for one or two issues, but it's been more issue-based. They are all promising, in fact, what they never did in the last 8 years. The last I heard Brian talking about the Galamsey issues, and I said, oh, NPP should be the last to be talking about Galamsey. At least, we've seen what has happened in the last 8 years, and we've seen what is happening at least in the last 10 months so far. And so governance issue, if you look at all the pointers, inflation, we are talking about single digit. We've taken it from 23, 24 within 10 months to a single digit. We've all seen what, in fact, Bloomberg has recently rated our currency as one of the best. You understand? And then almost all the indicators are pointing towards the positive direction. And you ask yourself, so why would Ghanaians even want a change in the system that is currently running now? They've only seen the system for 10 months. And we're already asking them to make a shift to a system that has kept them for 8 years. Right. And that has brought all that it has brought to them. So I only wish the candidates very well. Nana should do more of what he is doing. And it's good to take that statesman's rule and then be seen as the father for the party. Well, I think some of the decisions they are taking, they should be consulting him more. And even John Ajikun Kufuor, he's still alive. Yes. He's still alive. So why would you even not include such a person? Remember when they fixed the date for their presidential primaries, he lamented. He said he's not old. He's not that old. No, you understand? Not to have certain ideas to share with the party. So the party should do well to consult him more. I think it's a call they have to listen to. But Ghanaians, in fact, almost all the polls that have been done so far on perception of Ghanaians, that was what is happening in terms of the governance they've seen so far. Almost about 70% of Ghanaians are saying that the country is headed in the right direction. And so why would there be a change in the direction of the ship? And so,
is he?
Oh, is he your turn?
I thought you.
That's why you should ask me.
You pointed at me.
I thought you were saying.
No, that's fine. I thought you were actually calling me on.
That's right, you spoken. And so I wish all the candidates very well, and I also subscribe to the call by the former president for the candidates to be more focused on issue based, because at the end of the day, we are all looking at taking the nation to another level. In fact, John Mahama is setting a standard that will be difficult to break in the annals of our history. If you look at the trajectory that we are on, I don't envy the next person to succeed John Mahama. I don't envy that person at all.
They'll have their work cut out for them.
It's very serious, because if you look at the way he has so far steered the affairs of the state, if he's going to continue like that till the time we will have a change in the leadership of our country, then I would not at all envy whoever is taking over from him, because you have a huge task to perform. Because always it will be set against the previous. You understand? And so now, what will you then be doing that people will see you as doing better than the previous? Right. You understand? And so I see a bigger task ahead, but I see that NPP should be warming up for 2032 and not 2028. Whoever they eventually elect as their flag bearer.
Alhaji Kamaldeen, 2032, do you agree with him?
It appears my brother Fatal is very new to the history of intra-party politics.
Right.
Not inter-party, but intra-party politics. He's very new to it. It appears he's very new. And maybe he would have to get back to his party. You see, but I don't also blame him, because the party he belongs to have never had a very competitive election since the inception of the Fourth Republican Constitution. It's always been this way through declaration, follow or don't follow, and then you see what is going to happen to you. It's always been Fonka games, follow or don't follow, and see what is going to. So, of course, they've never had any intra-party competition strongly. That is why he thinks that the MPP has some problems. Why am I raising this? He says, why didn't the former president organize such a meeting in 2023, run up to the primaries before the 2024 general election? Why didn't he organize it? Interesting. The former president of Ghana, late General Rawlings, never even saw the need to say that there should be democracy, when the constitution says that parties ought to be organized under democratic principles. He decided to choose whoever he wanted, follow. Why? How did His Excellency John Dramani Mahama become the leader several times? They decided to throw democracy to the dogs. No internal democracy. He knows it. So if they come to sit here today and want to tell us who are doings of democracy in this country, who have seen the need to run on democratic principles as a political party, I think it's only pathetic for him to make a contribution towards that. Because basically his party is not there. But you see, where we are today, I have always maintained that, look, whoever is sitting somewhere and think that there will not be unity in this party, that person doesn't really know what he's doing. Look, in 1998, the contest between President Kufuor and Nana Addo Akufo-Addo and others in Sunyani was like the party was gone. In 2007, in Lagos, the contest between Alan Chamante, Nana Akufo-Addo, and some 15 others was like the party is broken completely. I was there. That brought us to, again, somewhere, in 2014 thereabout, we had same contest. Well, we've had series of primaries, presidential primaries as a party since our inception. The party is still formidable. You see, when internal contest comes and you want to analyze, depending on which lenses you are putting on, you decide to say what you want to say. But I can tell you, the formidability of the party after our election is always not in question. That is why I commend the president, the former president, for what he did yesterday. Yes, he didn't do it in 2023 when he was president.
Right.
Yes, you are alleging that because he was maybe said to be supporting someone, which he didn't come out to say anyway, which is not even true. Okay? I think that as a statesman and as an elder of the party, what he's done today is great. Bringing all of them together and admonishing them to ensure that they embark on issue-based campaign is the way to go. I was in National Council meeting last 2 weeks. The former president, John Kufuor, was there. Same admonishment he gave, same advice he gave. He said, look, the party is all we have. Go out there, talk to the delegates in the manner you think you would have to. That is not going to be inimical to the party. So that at the end of the day, we help choose a leader and all of us will rally behind that person to move on. Exactly what the former president has also done, Akufo-Addo has also done. And I like the commitment that all of them gave. That look, we are going to embark on that clean campaign. At the end of the day, whoever becomes the leader, we will rally behind the person and then we move on, as it were. And I will seize this opportunity to also say that, look, as a party person, it is important we eschew what will give our opponents ammunitions to go against us. He says it is in our wildest dream that we are doing this. 2028 is a goner, and that we shouldn't be doing this at all. We should be preparing a candidate for 2032. We have said more than this. John Dramani Mahama is gone. He can never be president again. They also said more. Neil Antefan, my very good friend, said that, oh, there's no way Akufo-Addo can be president. Akufo-Addo became president and became president again before he's gone. So we've always said this, but you see, you leave that to God. But I can tell you, every single party that is voted for, your first year, you enjoy your goodwill. Your first year. The CD that you are touting that today the CD is stable and the CD is good, how did you get it? Because of the reserve that is there that you are using to show up. Who will look for the reserve for you? Your predecessor. You know it. Your predecessor. You came and relied on their budget until your budget came, and then you move up. Not too long ago, Bank of Ghana came out to say that, look, we need to pump about 1.15 billion cedis. Dollars again to shore up the cedi. You are making reference to Bloomberg. We have seen all those things. When you come for the first time, your first year, your indicators will look good. That is why Setekpe and some Professor Bopin, or who is it Bopin? Yeah. All of them come to tell, look, tread cautiously. Don't overgloat. Don't be too happy. Wait until you are able to get your proper indicators in your next or your second year. Then when indeed are okay, you can gloat. But for now, those indicators that you are having, for us, it's quite dicey for you to be gloating over it. But once again, it is good, and I will appeal to all party members, not just only the flag bearers, the candidates. We, the followers, are even much more the problems.
Yeah.
Trust me. If you feel you support someone, please, any language that you are going to bring out, let that language be towards the development of the party and help your candidate with it. The insults will not help. The castigating of each other will never help.
Okay.
And I think at the end of the day, when we all do this, we all play a role in building the party and making sure that this 2028 that they see as a mirage for us will rather be the turning point for the MPP.
All right, Elijah. Elvis, I'll come to you briefly, but we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue the news review segment. But remember, we also want to hear your thoughts, so definitely send us those messages to the WhatsApp number on the screen below, or via social media with the hashtag Breakfast Daily, and we'll read it right here. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Yeah, welcome back to Breakfast Daily right here on ChannelOne TV with me, Inu Safu. My guests are still here. We're talking about the MPP before we went on a break, and we'd like to hear from Elvis, but you've sent us some of your messages, so let me quickly read through, and then we'll get Elvis' thoughts on the call for unity within the NPP. Do remember, you can also send us your messages, 0204 447-033, 0204-447-033. Alternatively, you can go on our social media platforms and use the hashtag Breakfast Daily, and we'll read it right here for you. So this one is, good morning, I am Okai from Bantama in the Sine West District. What is Kenoforiata's crime for the AG to prosecute him? All we hear is prosecute him, but no one has been able to give us any concrete evidence. Good morning, I am Eben from Kwamenya. I think he wanted to say Kwabenya. Truly speaking, Abain Papa and the change we voted for is making impact in our lives. Thank you, Mr. President, for making Ghana work again. And regards, he's saying regards to the Vice President. Enoch in Afenia says, everything shows Ghana is on a recovering path. City stability is on track. No more doomsday, and inflation is very down. Good morning to you all. It's not entirely true that Rawlings always had his way. He supported his wife against President Mills, and she lost miserably. Kofi Menu in DC said that. From Mystic Wonder Inside in Sawama Dredri, the move by the tried and tested President John to set up a fast-track court to enforce the audit reports is in the right direction. Accountability is an integral part of governance. And another one here, thank you for the program like this. I wish our country, Nigeria, would indulge in a positive and enlightened discussions like this among the various political parties instead of destructively criticizing one another. And this is from Dr. Solomon, all the way in Nigeria. You can also send us your messages. We'd also like to hear from you. Let's go back to our review segment. And Elvis, what are your thoughts on the call for unity? Do you think it's possible that even after the January elections, the flag bearer elections of the NPP, that call for unity can still, be there? Or they can...
Well, see, the meeting is good. The messages that came from the meeting were very good.
Right.
He's telling them that they should campaign on merit. Yeah. If you want to stand as a president, you should be able to do that on merit, not because somebody is backing you. He's saying that they should talk about their integrity. If you want to be a president of Ghana, you should be able to demonstrate your integrity to the delegates and Ghanaians. It's very important. And he's telling them that service, what service have rendered to the party and what service have rendered to the country as Ghana for you to be given the opportunity. I think this should be the rallying call of all the candidates, which is very good. Okay. But we should understand that in the internal elections, everybody is struggling to win, right? So people want to say things that will disadvantage their competitors so that they will win. The people at the top there, I can tell you, these people are the flag bearers or whatever, when they say all kinds of things about their opponents, in their mind, for them, it is just an internal contest. And then at the end of the day, whoever wins, those at the top, they are bounded by the party. And for them, whatever they will say, they are saying it just to get an advantage. If it doesn't work for their advantage and they lose, they are ready to remain in the party and support whoever is the winner, right, to move on. But I see, they are few. Those who understand things in this way, they are few. The problem is that the majority of the people who are their supporters don't
grassroots.
have this mindset. So when their candidate says something about another person and they are arguing among each other, they take it personal.
Yeah.
Okay. So they also say all kinds of things against the candidates and sometimes even against each other because they are on the side of different candidates. At the end of the primaries, somebody wins. When you tell them that now they should unite and work, then somebody say we can't unite and work because during the primary, the kind of things this person said to me, I can never forgive the person. You see, I can never forgive the person. The kind of things this person said about my candidate, no, we should never allow that person closer to our candidate. It should not be close even to the campaign. So you see, the people down there have a different mindset about what is said by their candidate. While the candidate themselves have a different mindset. But the problem, because the candidates are few, and few people at the top understand that these people are doing all this because of competition. For the people down there, it becomes a personal thing. Sometimes you say something about his or her candidate, and if the person takes it personal, why would you say this about my candidate? You hate my candidate. You should hate my candidate. You should not come close to anything that we will be doing because then it's my candidate and we the supporter who will now be in charge of the campaign. So it's a difficult situation. And until the parties are able to explain and get their supporters to understand that whatever we are saying against each other is only for the purpose of advantage. They are not personal. And therefore, after the primaries, we don't expect you, our supporters, to also take it personal. Until they're able to get the supporters to understand this thing, it always has a problem on the national elections. Because when things go this way, and then the people down there keep fighting even after the primaries, point is that those who are peeved and aggrieved are likely not to contribute their quota to the campaign at the grassroots level.
Absolutely.
It's your candidate who has won, so go and campaign and win and let's see. Somebody who even wants to come in, they say, oh, you were against our candidate, so now we will be in charge of the campaign at the grassroots. You people sit somewhere, you can go and vote, but in terms of the way, we are the one who will be going, it's our candidate who has won. So at the grassroots level, we realize that their understanding of what their candidates say in the primaries is different from what the candidates themselves think they are saying.
Right.
And that is why political parties will need to have time and begin to explain some of these things to their people. If not, you win the primaries, but you need a larger majority of your party to back you for you to win. Because on the day of voting, it's the person who must walk from his or her house to the voting booth to go and vote.
Definitely.
But if he says the things that were said, I will not go and vote, you can't do anything about it. I will not go and vote, win and let's see. And that is where the problem is. So for me, I think that the candidates should find a way of letting their supporters understand that we are not taking what we are saying against each other personal. We are saying this because we think it will give us some advantage over our candidate. If the advantage did not work and we lose, the party is ours. We will be committed. That's why you see them contesting each other. After losing on the national campaign, they are following the same the winning candidate to campaign. So the people are like, but you said all this is against this person during your primaries. How come you the same person you are saying now we should vote for the person? And you see, it goes beyond even within your own party. Because sometimes there may be people who are not aligned to NDC and MPP. They are open-minded, and they will decide what to go and vote. And they probably say, I believe in candidate A because he said all this against this candidate. And that candidate never won. And the same person who told him or her that this candidate has A, B, C, D weakness and should not be allowed to be the candidate, now is backing the same candidate. And the person who sits back, but this guy cannot be trusted. You see, people say politicians are not trusted. These are some of the issues. Because how can you say that this person is not qualified, is not capable, should not be supported to become a president? You said all kinds of things about the person. You said the person is this, is that, is that, is that. And I believed you, so that's why I backed your candidate, but you lost. I don't expect you to go now and be backing the same candidate and say because it's the same party, we should vote for the candidate. So sometimes the people who are even open-minded are not stuck to NDC or MPP. Now says, I don't think that I have to vote for your candidate because you, the person not asking me to vote for him. You said all this about the same person when it was your primaries. So are you now backing him because of some benefit you will get if that candidate should not become president? So then they begin to read all kinds of meanings into what you have said. Though that may not be the reason, but you said those things, for you, it's only an advantage in the primaries.
Right.
But your people will not understand it that way.
Right.
The people who are open-minded may not understand it that way. So then it affects your voter turnout at the end of the day. Because if you have not said all those things, the person will say, okay, during the primaries, they talk about what they can offer. They talk about their integrity, their credibility. They talked about what they did for the party. They were not attacking it. So if he did not win, and now he's asking me to vote for the winner, I understand. Because he has not said things against the winner. But when you said all kinds of things, some of them unprintable, and some even attacking the record of your same party whilst in government.
Right.
You attack the record of the same, your own party whilst in government. And now you are telling me that you have said your government was incompetent. They didn't manage the city well. They didn't do this, that. You have castigated the performance of the government. Now you didn't win the primaries. Now you are backing the candidate who is campaigning on the records of the same government you said was worse. And you say, I should now go and vote for that person. So you see, politicians should know that what comes off their mouth largely is reason why the electors don't trust them. Because people want to trust your words. Okay, they are not in your cabinet meeting like when Akufo-Addo called them yesterday. I mean, were the supporters there?
No.
No. So whatever is that is happening. When they saw the pictures, they were greeting and hugging and smiling with each other. They ate together in the house.
Yes.
Go and bring Ken and Baumia supporters and say they should eat it. They'll say, somebody will say, oh, somebody want to poison me, I will not eat. Do you understand it?
Exactly.
But the people you are following, they sat there, they ate breakfast with the man and discussed.
Yeah.
But see, the supporters were not there. They will not know that, so these people that were telling us this thing, this is what they were doing. The media, we took the pictures that we want. The time they were taking food and eating, and we didn't use those pictures.
Things,
so the other person will not know that, so they even ate together at the place. You understand? So I think that politicians should begin to understand that once they understand that whatever they are doing is not personal and should not be taken personal, the people who support them don't have that understanding. And that is why at the end of the day, if you are not careful, it translates into apathy within your party, and then it affects your electoral fortunes at the end of the day. Look, if you talk about yourself, your merit, your integrity, your credibility, what you have done for the nation, what you have done for the party, if you win, you win. And if that's the way all of them will go about it and you lose, when you're asking people to back the candidate, there's no problem because you've not said any negative things about the person who has eventually won. And I think all the parties should look at it from this perspective in their primaries. But it's like the primaries are more even, they say more unprintable things in primaries than even when they are fighting their opponents in the general elections. Right. Because in the general elections, they rather want to preach policy prescriptions. But in the internal primaries, they think that the best thing they can do is to attack each other's integrity and individual personalities. And I think that if they continue to create that kind of deficit, then trust in politicians will continue to decline because it will be difficult. And I'll give you an example. When Ken, after all the things in the primaries, decided to back Baumia in 2024 election, people were like, but how can I do it? And there were radio presenters who said they back Ken, like Black Rasta and Co. They went out and said, but you, I'm backing you because you said ABC about Baumia. Now you are the same person telling me that now Baumia is a good candidate. Then I no longer trust you.
There needs to be that
I'm saying an example. I don't have. I'm just saying that. So this is how the people see it, and so politicians should be minded in terms of their utterances, especially in internal party elections, because it's one party, and that big politician at the top, none of them is ready to leave the party. Because they know that on their own they can't really make any inroads. They need the machinery of the party to be able to make that inroads, and all of them know that any of them that wins as a candidate on the ticket of the NPP has a far better chance than going to form their own party or standing alone. That is why they are all fighting within the party. So don't say things that will affect the machine on which you are going to stand to campaign. Because then your individualism is out, but then what you have said is not being used against the machinery. Because somebody is now the candidate that is riding the elephant. But you've destroyed the elephant from the leg to the castle to everything, to everywhere. And then how do you get the person to ride the elephant? Is it somebody has cut the leg, somebody has cut the arm, somebody has cut the ears, and then I say, this person who has won is standing still on the elephant. Now let's go and fix the legs of the elephant, the ears, all the ones you have cut for it to be able to walk.
We have a few more minutes to wrap up. I want us to touch quickly on the anti-LGBTQ bill.
All that I said about my party
LGBTQ.
Right? Because if we go another round, we'll never talk about
Well, I've even said nothing. I don't know what he wants to about, but
let's talk about the anti-LGBTQ bill. It's second time being laid in Parliament. I remember the president suggesting that it should be, the next time it appears, it should be a government-backed bill. But we see that it's still a private member's bill that's going to be laid. Should I start with you? Or
no
should
problem.
I start with
anyway.
Tell me your thoughts on that.
Well, I think we have been deceived by the president of Ghana and his party NDC entirely. They campaigned vigorously on this, only to be voted for, come to power. You promise us that, yes, your predecessor did not assent to the bill, okay, which was a private member's bill, but you think that the bill should be properly laid before Parliament by government to become a government bill. Question is, the bill that is reintroduced today, is it a government bill?
No.
So there's no commitment by the NDC to fight LGBTQ. There's no commitment, I'm telling you. So all that they were going around saying, they didn't believe in it. Sam George, my good brother, very quiet today. Very, very quiet. I didn't know that Sam George was exact description of what the Gombe said, that when a bone is in the mouth of a dog, it doesn't bark. Today there's a bone in his mouth, so he doesn't bark.
Hey, he's still one of the proponents, though.
Oh, he is. Of course, I've read it. There are 10 of them. But you see, the vigorous nature, what did I say? The zeal that he had in supporting the human sexual rights and
family values
bill. When they were in opposition, it's not what I'm seeing. More so when the president said that, look, it's about time we go into discussion, find out what to do. This is not time to have discussion. You didn't tell us you're going to have discussion. Let me commend all of them, though. But I'm saying that in opposition, the vigor with which we came to say that, look, all of us are in one position against this, for me, is a satanic act. For me, it's an evil act. It's disgusting, it's dirty. All of us are against it. Today, look at what is happening. Those promoting it directly or indirectly are now rife. Go around in the night. Look at what is happening in our towns, in our bars, in our pubs. Go to our campuses today. Even our festivals, their colors are being shown. Recently, I saw some colors in Cape Coast. Look, we shouldn't pretend. Muslims in this country abhor it. Christians are not happy with it. We have our African values, our customs don't agree with it. We are a sovereign nation. All of us have agreed. Now, trust me, if we all agree that that is the way to go, then this bill should not be a bill that will suffer in the hands of Parliament.
Right.
It should be passed. And if President had told us that you were going to make sure it becomes a government bill and you push it, and some months down the line, nothing is done, it's only taking the MPs again to reintroduce it, I think you have actually disappointed us. President Mahama, LGBTQ that we all spoke against, and your mouthpiece then, Sam George, was so vociferous on this matter, is still on the table. Let's see your commitment to it. You said the MPP were not committed. Let's see the NDC committed to this matter. And lastly, I will now speak with, to our father, Right Honorable Speaker. He's always been on this position. That look, let's pass this bill. Let's make sure that our family values are upheld, our customs are upheld. I will also appeal again to him. The reintroduction of this bill should not suffer in Parliament. We should see the readings of those bills. We should see the conclusion. We are lucky to have a member of Parliament sitting here, who, of course, also was against it, and even tried to point accusing fingers at us. Today, you are here. The ball is in your court. We beg you, show to Ghanaians that you are committed to passing this bill and then signing it into law, so that our children will be saved. Finally, Have you watched the cartoons that we are watching today? Do you know it's tainted? Our kids' cartoons are tainted.
Right.
That is why on YouTube, if your kid is using a tablet at home, please monitor it. Even what's the name? The cartoons that we see on TV have actually been tainted.
Right.
They have changed characters to male characters to female characters, and they have brought them together. That is what is happening. And I want families to actually be up and doing. Okay. There's so many ways.
All right.
If you want to believe in your culture, that's your culture. Our culture is different. We beg you, don't spoil our people. It's disgusting. We have no money to buy Pampers for men. At all.
Right.
No.
All right, Honorable Abdul Fattah. Do you foresee a smooth process this second time?
Yes, please. I do. I think the NPP should be the last people calling for the smooth passage of the anti-LGBTQ bill. But for the frustration that is suffered, by now, we should have had the bill passed into law. It should have been an act. And no president would have come to give an excuse.
Right.
You understand? So you didn't actually help Ghanaians in the first place. Because we wouldn't have even been where we are today. Now, is it the only bill that the president has not introduced to Parliament yet? In fact, yes, granted that JM, the president, has said that it should come as
a
government-sponsored bill.
Yeah.
There are still a lot of bills on the desk of various ministers at cabinet that are yet to be brought to Parliament. You understand? And so, if this is just one of those that have not arrived in Parliament, what makes you think that the president is not committed to the passage of that bill? The fact that some MPs have taken it up as a private member's bill, it only means that they have gone ahead of the president. But it is not to say that it's not in the plans of the government to introduce the bill. Yes, they have only gone ahead of the government.
So is there a bill before Attorney General on this? No.
I am telling you that various bills. Look, if you listen to Mama Yega, if you listen to Mama Yega yesterday, he listed a lot of bills that will be coming to Parliament, including LGBTQ. I was quiet. I was quiet when you were making your submissions.
No, we don't want you to sway us. Tell us. I know you're a lawyer. You're smart.
Tell
us that LGBTQ is on the table. That's not what
once it's been brought in by the private member, it can't be part of what the what I'm telling you is that it means that the government has a plan of work.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be stampeded simply because it held this position back in opposition or not. You understand? It's still within the banner. It will come to Parliament. But members of Parliament have taken the lead. And it's still right. We have the numbers. Assuming NDC still take the position that it will see the light of day. MPP, you can't even do coup. You can't do coup.
Ghanaians are watching you.
That is what Ghanaians are watching.
The Ghanaians, you told them
so we are in support of it. We are in support of it. In fact, majority in Parliament is fully in support of it. You can question the speed. That is something because you need to play politics. At every stage, even if we come with the necessary speed, you have something.
We don't want to question it. We want you velocity.
Listen, it is only, look, Mills was the president of Ghana. At the time that he was the president of Ghana, he made a categorical statement. NDC's position on LGBT has never been hidden, even when we are occupying the seat of government. It is only when MPP is occupying that seat that they play Yes.
The Mama was not emphatic on this.
No. Everybody can remember what
recently
President John Iva Atama, when he was the president, said about UK and what they were trying to push Ghanaians into.
And said what?
His values are still there. President is still committed. And it would have come to Parliament anyway if the 10 MPs had not even taken the lead. And so it's not a rush. In fact, the issue, in fact, he made a statement when we were talking about their primary issue, where he spoke about the fact that MPP is the doyen of Italian democracy or something. Funny.
Pacesetters of true democracy.
Who brought about what we enjoy today? The same rulings that you are today. The same rulings that you are today chastising.
Right.
As being anti-democratic. He saw Ghana return to democracy.
Okay.
And he handed Ghana a constitution that has lasted 32, 33 years today. In fact, even though people have had issues with the constitution has stood the test of time for 33 years now. This man who is, if he wanted, look, you boycotted the commission that brought about the constitution. You understand? If he wanted, he would have put in powers that were so undemocratic, that were not supportive of democracy. But because of his true commitment to the introduction of democracy, he brought in powers that could check various arms of government. And those powers have helped to sustain our democracy from 1993, January, till date. And this is a man you are talking about as somebody who is not being democratic. Look, interests are interests. Everybody has interest. Be you a president, a former president, an individual, we all have interest. The fact that he has had interest at some point in who becomes the leader of the NDC does not mean he's not being democratic. And secondly, NDC is the only party that in its internal primaries has opened it up to all card-bearing members. You have not tried that. You try that and see where your party will be. And so which party is more democratic?
Right.
You understand? And so for being democratic or not being democratic, in fact, it's not a topic for MPP to engage in. But I assure you that the majority is still committed to this bill. And I'm happy that he has admitted that Sam George is still one of those who are at the forefront.
Not admitted, it's right.
But
just that the vigor with which he was doing it has actually diminished.
No, look at the vigor. He's still using the same vigor to fight for
your man is busy. He's busy at the communication.
He's fighting for DSTV. Fighting for you to get quality of
let's hear from you. We have a few minutes to go. So briefly on this, won't this affect our international relations with other countries?
Forget about those issues. Right. The Middle East and co, don't they live?
They live.
That's a good question. The international relations. Everything you want to live for poverty mentality. That's why we are where we are. The LGBTQ, NDC played politics with it and enjoyed the benefit from votes. President Mahama just said, if you vote for me today, I'll sign it tomorrow.
But it's not for him.
Huh? He said, if you vote for me, I'll sign it tomorrow. When he won power and BBC interviewed him, he said he didn't even know what was in the bill.
Yes.
So if he didn't know what was in the bill, what was he going to sign when he was promising the campaign? The man who said I will sign it tomorrow if I'm voted, after winning the election, BBC asked him, he said, well, I didn't know what was even in the bill. That's a BBC interview.
It's not true.
Okay? It's true. In the same BBC interview, and when the Catholic Bishop Conference TV called on him, he said he will also not back a bill by private members' bill, and that he will want Attorney General to work on it. That was the same position Akufo-Addo took, and they say he's against, he supports that, that's why he doesn't want to sign it. Akufo-Addo also took the same position that he will not support the bill because it's a private member. He wants the Attorney General to go through it. And where are the issues that before they will lay the bill before Parliament again? Before they lost election. But then NDC played and said, Akufo-Addo MP doesn't want to sign the bill. NDC came to power, and President Mahama is given the same position that he will also not sign the bill if it's a private member. He wants Attorney General to work on the bill and send it back to Parliament. See, when it's a political season, people say all kinds of things because they want to win elections. But then when they win and the reality confronts them, then they turn around. Whatever the NDC, President Mahama said about this bill in opposition, today they are saying the opposite when they are in government. Because you cannot say that I will sign the bill when you're in opposition because you won't vote. And after you won the BBC interview, you say you didn't even know what was in the bill. So if you didn't know what was in the bill, why were you saying you were going to sign it? I didn't say that. It was in the BBC interview. He said in the BBC interview, they didn't even know the contents of the bill. They don't know what is in it. Okay? Yeah. So what was he promising to sign? It means that he was saying it for votes. Okay? And now the same position Akufo-Addo took and said, let the bill go through AG and not the private member. President Mahama told the Catholic Bishop Conference the same thing. That is what he want to do. That the bill should go through the AG and not the private member's bill. So you see, when we do politics with issues, this is why it hurts all of us. If President Mahama knew the same position of Akufo-Addo that AG must introduce the bill, why were they doing politics with it? If we are taking the same position as a country, like by now maybe the bill would have made a better progress.
Absolutely.
You understand it?
Right.
So both Akufo-Addo and Mahama now agree that the bill should be one that should go through Attorney General and not a private member's bill. And now because the president has not been able to introduce it, now we are creating another media storm by sending the bill to another private member's bill. The president has already said it, that the bill has to go through the AG. So it means that what they have started is just another political gimmick. Because at the end of the day, when it comes out, the president is not going to sign it.
Right.
Because he has made his position clear. He has made his position clear earlier in the year that if the bill is to go to Parliament and be passed, he wants the bill going through an Attorney General. So these MPs who are going to do this thing, they are just repeating the same thing they've done. We'll turn the whole country into coca. And at the end of the day, we'll finish and the president will say, no, send it back to the AG.
Right.
We are wasting too much energy and so many others. Because if the president who has to sign the bill has already made his position that he will want an AG to introduce the bill, what's the rush of these MPs?
Right.
Because you did it in the previous parliament, And the president then didn't sign it because he want AG. This president is lucky to give you heads up that me, I want to go to the AG. Why are you rushing to tell them? Because whatever you do, it will still not work if you do it, because the president will still take it to AG to get it done. Let's stop politics. I support the bill. We must ban this thing. Those countries that have banned it are not dead. They are eating. They are surviving. They are traveling to the so-called countries that says you should legalize it. So if we pass it, we will not be the first country to support it. But let's get the AG. If the former president and the current president are all saying that it should go through AG, let's get it to AG, get it done well, and pass it.
You know,
that is what we have, all of us.
A senior friend of mine, elderly friend, the daughter told him categorically that, look, she is ready to marry her fellow female.
Wow. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for the News Review of Breakfast Daily. I appreciate you so much for coming. All right, Jude and Chris, take over. Don't go away.